Materials. What are we going to be using for this size of a doll? I have a galvanized wire 18 gauge, this one over here, and brass tubes. I have brass tubes, and I got you the original package here so you can see which ones I'm using here. This one is 1/8 over here. You can find these things in your hobby store or even in the hardware store. 1/8 3.18 millimeters. That's the one I'm using. The other one, this is for the arms. I'm gonna use this one for the arms, and this one is, oh boy, I can see it. Where is it? I probably got these on the craft store. Oh yeah, you see, I got this in Hobby Lobby. Aha, 1/16. Here it is, 1/16. Okay, that's the one I'm gonna use for the arms, and if I am not mistaken, that's pretty much all. And I also have aluminum foil. Well, aluminum foil paper. I have this kind of like a Yuri. It's very thin. It's probably 14 or maybe more. Maybe 14. No. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's very. Oh, it is said here. Oh, no, it's not 14. I messed it up. 24. Gosh, it's 24. Okay, it's very thin. I'm gonna use this for kind of like attaching instead of a soldering the pieces. I need pliers. I need pliers, scissors, and I think that's pretty much all about this. Oh, and this is a brass tubing cutting for cutting the tubes. Okay, you can also find this in your hardware store. It's very useful. Enough size of the galvanized wire to go up and down, up to the head and down to the legs, not to the bottom, because these two brass tubes are gonna come here. So now what I'm gonna do now, it's bend this thing, this wire. I'm gonna be bending this. Try to make it on the middle so it will be even. Go here now. Yeah, it's hard to work with this thick wire. That's why I don't really make big stuff. It's not my thing, really. Oh great, bending this was really hard. I had to bend it in half. Now I have to bend it even more. Because, oops, I have to connect these two actually. Like this. And they should be connected like this, or at least try to connect these two like that, you see? Like that. Oh, there you go. Not that bad. I'm going to try to straighten it a little bit more so they can be connected nice. I'm gonna try to flatten this so they can connect better, okay? So we basically have our removable arms here, and so far I didn't have to use a soldering machine. I also add an extra wire to help be stronger there, and I'm gonna cover with the paper, because after this she looks totally and completely stiff. Now we have to pose it. I have to pose, and we're gonna be adding a lot of stress. And let's see if our soldering less removable strong armature, it's gonna work to pose. Okay, let's see what happened. I leave this, this is still loose, because maybe this will change with the pose. So because you're gonna see later, I'm gonna use some kind of a strong metal epoxy clay to strengthen even more some areas on here. But right now I want to, the last thing with this actually will be to look, oh yeah, I had to pose it. I had to put it on a pose, and then the next thing, these two are gonna be having a, where's my wire? It should be, well, it should be about this size of wire. This size of wire, actually, the brass tube, I mean, which I might have a little piece on here. Okay, here. So I can lock, this is not a good cut, it's crappy here. So I can lock, the two of these guys are gonna be locked on the base. Okay, one's gonna be here, one's gonna be here. It's a matter of the pose. So the doll is gonna be able to be located on there by 2 points, exactly her 2 feet. Yeah, and so this is gonna, I hope so, it's gonna help me also for sculpting. So this is gonna be her base, her sculpting base, and her original base where she's gonna end up staying. All right, so let's do the next. Okay. It's a good thing I can take the arms off, so it will let me do some other things. Okay, let me measure. I want to mark, just I don't want to miss these things. Like her, the beginning of the belly button should be there, and the butt is here, around here, and well, the level of the, I want to translate it should be around that, because this has a curvature on the, because of the spine. Doesn't matter of the pose you're going to be having, she is going to have a curvature. So the first thing I start is with the neck. Look, the neck has a curvature here, going up to there. It's kind of trying to follow in the shape of the spine. So this, I think I need stronger tools. Oh, actually, it's working. It should be there. According to my pose, she's not bending the head, so she's kind of like in the normal kind of pose, but a little bit there. And then I go, here's supposed to be the arm. And then here's a curvature also. It's awkward because the camera is in front of me and I'm not really free to do it this way. Okay, it's a curvature here. That spine. And then the ribs going up here. That's kind of following. I say the navel was here. So even this, the hips, this area, ay, chispas, this has to go. Oh, let's do it this way. This is gonna be easier if I do the upper part, because this is bent a little bit, and then I just bend here to go back to my back, the one my back was, and that is gonna vary depending on her pose. Her pose is kind of daring anyway. Let's see. You see? Try to fold that. There you go. I got the neck, I got the back. I was getting a little bit into the hips. just a little bit on the back here. And then, because this is going like this, ooh, how we change. Things are changing a lot here. It's about fine. And the legs. Alright. It actually helps me more when I have a build up here of the hips. But I'm trying, forcing myself to get into this really good. So if I did it on here, like, okay, my legs are starting here, you see? I calculated the hips right on here, the hip bone here, and the legs are pretty much starting here, over here. So it means better mark just to be safe. Legs should be starting around here, which is around here. So there is where I'm going to bend this. Like I say, it's awkward because camera is on my face. See, this goes a little bit there, and this goes a bit on there. Because this is the hip, and after that is the legs are following. Trying to follow my pattern. Oh yeah, you see, it's perfect around here. Just right where the legs are starting, because let's see, there's a good picture here so you can see that way. Because I have to follow the shape of the leg too. That's gonna be kind of crucial. It may be hard. Maybe if I pull this to the side, it will be easier to bend. I have to bend these things, so I think it will be easier if the build-up is on the side instead of being on the back. Right. If I count with the leg on here, there's a little bit of a bending on here, just a little bit. This one, a little bit. Then is, wait a second, level, okay. Then we're good. And then another bending, it will be right on the legs, which again we better mark this down. The knees. Alright, what will be around here? I mark the legs, okay? Look at the distance. Mark it on here, because I'm gonna have to bend this just a little bit. Right now, just to locate areas, just a little bit. This is gonna be hard. And later, I have to bend these in order to pose it. I have a stronger. In order to pose, to put it on a pose. You know what? Yeah, this is hard. So, luckily I didn't choose. Well, it's going to be a standing pose, so it's not meant to be that complicated, really. How are we gonna do this here? Oh, because we want a very secure and a strong armature. Okay, whoa, just a little bit. You see a little bit of a curvature in there? Just a bit. And in the end, also a little bit of a curvature because of the calves. Calves. There. I'm gonna try to do this with my hand. Just a tiny bit. That is the meaning of giving your armature some kind of a shape. So you can see where the actual body parts are gonna be functioning, or the shape or general anatomy. You see, it's a better guide. I don't know, for me it's a better guide. Should have been a little bit more. Trying to follow the shape of the bone here, actually, because the bones are a little bit, just a little bit bent. I got it. There you go. Now I'm on the pattern. There you go. It's not really a straight line. It's a curvature. You see? This one probably will care for a little bit more. Bending here and then bending back. There you go. not a straight line. It has a shape. It totally has a shape. Here too. At least on this side here. I usually do a shape on this side too, but right now it's going to be impossible with all this enforcement. And it's not as tragic as this. This kind of does follow a straight pattern here. Plus, she has some kind of a bending. So let me try to match, at least to make it fit on the pattern. I don't want this to be out of the pattern. A little bit on here. And they are on the pattern. Ooh, this is going to be really thick there. There, it's on the pattern, the shape. Alright? Good. Now is when the things get busy. According to my pattern, she's fine on here because I need a core to start posing. I hardly can pose the doll just from the wire. I need some kind of a core so I can follow that shape. Okay? Let me see. Let me do something about it. So I'm going to secure. It doesn't really match the movement here in the pose I want to make. So I'm going to secure the unions, this one and this one, with this stuff. If you haven't heard about this, this is an epoxy clay, but it has metal on this. It's steel reinforced epoxy. This thing is really, really strong, and I'm gonna prove myself that I can do this without the hassle of soldering. Okay, so I protect my fingers with a little bit of like all kind of epoxies. You should protect your fingers when you work with epoxies. Protect this. It comes in a bar. The two mixes are like one inner and the other one outside. And then you just cut a little piece. Oh, as much as you want to use. Oh, this thing sets fast, okay? It's not like your typical, well, at least the one I use, the sculpting epoxy. This is probably old because it doesn't really crumble like this. But I used it the other day and it was still good, so I just have to be patient. Because you have to mix this thoroughly. It's black and a dark gray, the two parts, and you just have to mix it same amount. I'm gonna help with the other hand. There you go, and you have to mix it thoroughly. And this is completely and totally gonna set these unions here, and after this I can start making the core, the inner core with aluminum foil, which I usually do for clay sculptures. There you go. This is messy and it's gonna stink a little bit because this is for plumbing. You know, the plumber's clay, putty, whatever. It stinks, so it sauce this. So you're not tough enough to stand the stinky, don't use this. The thing is that this stuff is very, very strong and it's gonna totally help these unions here. Try to work fast though, this thing dries like fast. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's all hard and set. There you go. I have that one, but it's not gonna be clumsy, and this one too. Oh, it gets warm. When it starts getting warm, you know that it's setting. There you go, basically like this. Now I'm going to wait about 10-15 minutes. I think it's even less. You should set it there on the indications. And I'm gonna go back. I did turn her a little bit. It's not like a straight this side because of her pose is a little bit turn. Alright, I'll be back. This is dry, very hard, right? Now the next step is building up the core with aluminum foil. We're gonna grab 2 stripes of it and we're gonna start covering our armature. Try to do it evenly, right? Let's do this very fast. When things like this are bothering me at this point and I want to keep working on the top, this aluminum foil or aluminum tape is pretty useful too. I'm gonna keep this thing, from cutting off. I did it too hard. There you go. It's gonna help you at least to hold down for right now. We're still gonna cover it with the paper, but it's just annoying. I can't work like that. Alright. Now I wanna add, let's see, probably a little bit more chest. That should be it. There. I'm gonna cover this. Oh, and I wanted to add a little bit more on the neck also. Well, on the neck area, shoulder area. Needs more. Oh, let's do the next one. It needs a little bit to build up a little bit on there. Like I say, mine is a little bit twisted, like this side, So a little bit on the shoulders. It's a little bit twisted there. I think it should be fine there. Let me see. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, now it's good. Now it is good. Okay, now this. Well, some people use paper, like masking tape. I use floral tape. I like that better. This is better. Maybe because it's more delicate. It kind of gets into the right shape. And it doesn't build up. I think I could grab this one too. There you go. Ouch. And this. You don't really have to cover like all. Not really necessarily. As much as you can. Oopsie. Oopsie. Again. I have to secure this. There you go. Now I can stretch. This I wanted to go through here. There we go. Oops. Right above the end. There. You see, I didn't do that part, but it's not that tragic already. Now I can see something. I have something that I can. Well, I don't know. It's my in my own experience. Posing wires is kind of like not really. Doesn't call me at all. Now I can start posing. Try to pose first. She's like leaning a little bit, so this leg is going like back. She's going back. And then this leg is going to the front, about that side it should be, and then this knee is going to be flexed, which I have to do this with two things, a little bit, not too much anyway. See, she's going to be flexing this leg. This is the strongest armature I ever done in my entire life. I don't really do that much of a procedure when it comes to armatures. This leg a little bit more back. About there. She's leaning. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. I bought one of these posable 3D imagines. I'll show you. You see the one on the computer? That one. Sorry. That one. Those 3D. You can pose it. You know, you can turn it. These things are pretty cool. You're able to buy this kind of stuff. It's digital art. Do it. It's a lot of very, very, very helpful, believe me. So okay, I show you my model. Seems like her leg is a little bit even more bent. It's good that I mark where the legs start actually. That's helping me a lot. There you go. Kind of like this, and then, okay, these two have to bend to the front. There. I don't want to bend the. I don't want to. It has a line like this, and I don't really want to bend this part much. Like that, and the curvature in her is even more pronounced. She's that pose. Okay. You see? Turn it. Let's look at this side. Yeah, and let me see how, like, you have to, these things are awesome. I'm really happy with this stuff. You have to see the different angles and the, well, if you're even able to, let me see, I'm gonna watch on the front. If you're even able in real life to get a real model, oh my gosh, that would be like the best thing ever. This curvature here. Yeah. There. On this side. And a little bit. In this case, I think it's more convenient to me if I turn it this way. This leg over here is not flex, it's actually extended pretty much a lot. I wanna follow a little bit to the shape of the calves. That's what I'm trying to do here. I think I got it. Alright, let me see the front. She's leaning, totally leaning to the front a little bit. Alright, I got it on the front. What else is on the front? This thing, the torso, it's a little bit to this side, to the right. Okay, here we go. I found out that she's spreading the legs. This just has the legs even wide open than the base I got for her, but I'm not gonna go to the store and get a new base right now. Plus, you know, this is not a final piece. I'm gonna be casting this more than likely, and anything else I can still make another base. But at this point, right before I start, because I'm gonna start doing the aluminum foil on the legs also. I'm gonna give some core on there too. I first wanna set this on here. So because I do that with some kind of a glue, I'm gonna show you, and that glue has to be setting. So pretty much there. Whoa, what did I do here? Okay, here. So she's gonna be very firm on there. I'm gonna do it right about here because I still need the room for put the foot on here. So 1 and 2. This is gonna be going for logic, not something that thin. I think that's the 1/16. It's going to be going the brass rod we put here. We want to use a smaller one that go inside. This one is gonna come here, and from here it's gonna touch here. I'm going to drill holes. Alright, before you start this, I cut my tubes. Mark. It's always good if you mark. Like this could go here. So this is supposed to be going on the thing. That as far. this over here. This is going here, and it should going this far down. It's always good to be sure about things. Alright, now where's my stick? Oh, here. This is epoxy liquid. There's a one for plastic, but there's a one for all use, but I have tried this with brass and wood, and it works fine. It's to set up the brass on there. I don't know what everybody else uses, but I'm recently starting using this, and it works pretty good. And it stays put, because I have tried to glue and put epoxy clay or something there to set up the brass tubes, and nothing ever worked good for me until I start playing with this. It's 2-part liquid, and then you mix it, and it's also gonna dry in about 15 minutes. We're gonna let this drying while I keep working on the armature. There you go. Then I'm gonna thoroughly cover my brass tube, and this is gonna be glued onto the wood as far as there, right on there. Next one. This should be completely dry by the time I'm ready to use this, so it should be fine. Okay, where's the mark? There you go. Kinda help the thing to go down, the glue. There we go. Okay. Right, now we're gonna keep filling up the legs. The legs, okay? Same as I did on the core body. I'm gonna be wrapping this around, making the inner core on here, trying to follow the size. Oops, I need these, I need that. Trying to follow the shape and the thickness on my pattern. Alright? Listen, when I say that I was going to be sharing all my tips with you, is because I am going to be sharing my tips with you. And here's a tip I always use. Take the maximum advantage over your core, the armature itself, and don't just wrap around the things and randomly. You have to keep a shape, internal, but a shape. Like, look what I did here with the cup. I don't just wrapping and giving bumps, because these are leaving bumps and hole on the paper. This paper is very I don't know if this word is correct, malleable. It's very shapeable. You pretty much, I have seen people sculpting in aluminum foil, believe it or not, and you have to take advantage of that. Not just wrap the thing randomly, give it shape. Look what I did here. But this is getting a little bit closer, way too closer to the clay, and I can push it, I can shrink it more. I can totally do that there. But what I'm going to show you is that I am giving the shape already of the piece of the leg, even with the knee here, the knee bone and everything. Unlikely, you can see the difference here. I haven't done anything here, so that's pretty much great. There you go. I hope it's in focus. Wait a second. There you go. This is randomly done, for example, and this is shapely, like going on the shape, trying to keep on with the proportion of the shape, the inner core. So I'm gonna keep doing that here too, even if I have some memories of muscles and that kind of stuff, or I look for referrals. You see, look how we shape, how this paper nicely shapes. It does. There you go. That is gonna help you, believe me, that helps you a lot when you have to build over this. It's gonna be like you're just gonna be putting the clay on and just shaping a little bit. As much as you can get on here, that's gonna help you a lot. Okay, I could go for a little bit more meat than this leg, but that is pretty much my tip. Exactly what I did here. I follow the shape of the body. I didn't just did that a random chunk of pieces on there. Okay, follow that. Let's do that. Alright, now to pose the arms. I'm not just gonna go ahead and pose it. I always like to mark like where the elbow is gonna be going. Here we go. And there we go. Okay, she's pretty much going to be with the arms extended like this, but the fact that she's gonna be extending, it doesn't mean that where's my other player? Oh, here. It doesn't mean that she has to be straight up like that. No, that you don't do that. Okay, that's not correct. She could be extending the arms like in this pose, but should be slightly bent a little bit, even if it is just a little bit. There. Same thing here. You're never gonna do this, even if she's extending and purposely extending the arm like that. You're never gonna leave it totally, completely straight. That doesn't look good. Okay. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a shape also. Here too, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a shape, so as Also, everything try to follow, pretty much try to follow a shape. I'm gonna take this off. Like, this is like this. There we go. I want to do a little bit of an angle. If you check on the bones on the body, we do have some kind of a, oh, I'm looking at the bones right now, skeleton. We do have some angles. I do this easily with the wire, but this is a little bit complicated to do it. Just a little bit of an angle, just a little bit. Look at how a bone look. It's not straight, it's not a really straight line. Okay, this one too. Actually, you can see a bit more of an angle here on this picture, and it actually should be like that. And a bit of an angle on here and here. That's another tip, by the way. And there we go. A little bit more. That's just gonna help to get you berry shape. You see? So it's very, it's like nothing, but believe me, that's gonna help you. That's gonna help a lot. All right, and then let's see the full figure. She's pretty big, so I'm trying to make her fit her on the screen. I don't need this right now, so I got, yeah, you see that? A little bit. I could probably straighten more, but just a little bit. She's gonna have a different pose on the arms than the one on than my model. That's the only thing. I'm only doing this part from the model. The arms are gonna be different, like this, like a daring kind of a thing. Right? Set up, and this is our base. Probably it's been 15 minutes, and the brass tubes are already dry, pretty much dry. Now I have to bend this a little bit so it will fit my doll. Let me delicately do this. What's my angle? Okay, I have to bend this a little bit. Oops, I'm gonna get rid of this. Better do it with your hand, because with the tool you probably can deform the brass and then you're done. You cannot deform the brass. If you deform the brass, it's not going to fit on the hole anymore. And that's going to be a tragedy. Better do it with your hands. And I think, whoa, it's a lot actually. A lot more. Let me see. Oh, this is. There you go. Now the other one. You see, this is what I didn't want to, because always when I do my armatures and I do it in only one leg, well, probably it should have been this one, they kind of cling like this, and it's not really comfortable for me to work. So that's why, because I want a lot of support, so I kind of sculpt here. Is that I wanted to do the double 2 points. Right, now the other one. Let me see. Over here. This should go down a little bit. Do this slowly, don't do it at once. It's kind of hard to do it at once anyway. Oh, it's a little bit more. There. It's getting into a little bit more. It's a little bit more like, well, there you go. And you see it's very sturdy. That's what I wanted, baby. There you go. We're pretty much done. You could, if you want, you could do a aluminum foil here. Although I won't encourage. I usually do put some, but when I work with a wire, this thing is sticking off, so it's not gonna give me much of a troubles. So I won't. I might add. No, I won't. I won't in the end. Or maybe I do. We'll see. But this tutorial is pretty much complete. There you can see her, like I told you. The core body has already some kind of a shape. She looks like an anorexic kind of a lady. But that is the idea, and believe me, it's going to be easier for you to integrate the clay on here for your work. Okay, I hope you like this, and I hope it's useful for you, and just let me know. You have learned something new? There, the arms. Yay! This is gonna be cool when the piece is complete. Thank you for watching.